Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we are back in BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge action with round 3 live from the Super Watkins Glen. In the booth with me tonight, I have everybody's favourite South African, Mr. Yaz Samai. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
And also on the bells and whistles, we have, I'm not going to say everybody's favourite Belgian because he's not. We have Mr. Sam Boozin. Good evening.
That must be someone with the same name as me because I am Belgian. And I don't know why this title says Grand Touring Club Cup Season 2 when it's set to BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge. Jeez. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, well... Unfortunately, I can't do the cameras and commentate, so we'll just have to put up with our stand-in cameraman, Sam, for tonight. We have no idea where missing in action Stacey Jeffries is tonight, but never mind. We shall soldier on, and Yaz will do his best high-pitched voice and pretend that he's Stacey. So, Yaz, Watkins Glen, one of my favourite tracks, probably because it doesn't take too long to learn. It's a fairly simple in the way of learning the course, but still can be quite technical.
Yeah, very technical track. This, I think it's a lot of people's favourites, just because it has so couple of hairpins, and yeah, it's a lot of people enjoy it around here, so I'm sure we will have a fun and exciting race tonight.
I'm sure we will. Quick good evening to Sir Alan Toon on the chat. So before we get stuck into qualifying, quick recap from last week. So Wobbly Knee Camp took the win in GT4 with Chris Shaw in second and Simon Trendle in third. Lee Bowden took the win in TCR. Stephen Walker was second and Gary Craig was third. And for those of you that didn't watch last week's race, it was absolutely fantastic. So apart from Wobbly Kneecaps, who disappeared into the distance, the battling was fantastic. Quick look at the standings sees Chris Shaw top of the pile in GT4 with Simon Trendle in second and Rob Venn in third. In TCR, Stephen Walker leads the way with Lee Bowden second and Russell Cowell in third. Team standings, Spectre 6 Purple sit top of the pile, BSTV Esports Pink in second and Team Chimera in third. So let's have a look at this qualifying session, Yaz. We are 10 minutes into the 15-minute session. Currently, Wobbly Kneecap sits on pole in GT4 with Chris Shaw second and Stefan Goebel in third. Stephen Walker, provisional pole in TCR with Mark Draper second and Gary Craig in third. Now, we do have a new driver tonight, and he is competing in GT4. We've had a short discussion about how to pronounce his name, and we've decided to call him Eyelash. So welcome to Eyelash de Vries. Hope you do well tonight. Yaz, do you think we're going to get a similar sort of action as last week? This is not really a track where the cars split up, is it?
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where, like I said, it's one of everybody's favorites. So I'm thinking that everybody's going to be quite tight. I think we might see some action down the straight before the chicane. It's one of those places where you get a massive slipstream and you think you have the inside corner, but you might not, and people are going to rush into that together. Well, I say that, and then everybody behaves themselves for an hour. But up front, compared to last week, we have Tyler Newitt back this week, so another one in that battle up front there. So we'll have an exciting one. We do know that we say this every week, the TCRs are split by a hair, so that's going to be tight as usual. So hopefully, if everybody keeps it clean, it's going to be everybody stuck together again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. We are running the boot layout, so it does have the bus stop in, which can cause a few problems, and also, as Yaz alluded to, it can be, if you get it right, a very good overtaking opportunity. Anybody new to the series? So it is a 60-minute race. The cars are fuel limited, so they will have to make a pit stop. And we've seen lots of different tactics. The pit window is quite wide. We've seen no tyres, 2 tyres, 4 tyres. We've seen early stops, we've seen late stops, we've seen it all. So excuse us, but even we don't know what's going on till all the pit stops have been taken. And then take into account as well the incident points for drivers getting wheels off of the track. They rack them up, and they can also get a drive-through penalty. So we'll try and fathom out what's going on and keep you all updated. Interested, you said that Tyler knew it was back. Yaz, I see he's popped himself onto the front row at the moment in GT4.
Yeah, he has. Still 14th off of Wobbly, so I don't know what Wobbly's drinking this morning, but it's definitely the right stuff. Yeah, like you say, with regards to tyres, we don't know what they're going to do, and when the pit stops are going to happen with the new rules this season. We know it's only going to be one stop. It's taken out that all the fuel saving and all those shenanigans. However, it has now put a bit of a spanner in it to let the guys decide when they're going to take that stop, how early they want to take that stop, or how long they want to run in this race. And so far this season, we've seen many different tactics taken. And so again today we'll wait to see what happens here, and I'm sure it'll play out quite fun and interesting.
Yeah, and on screen at the moment we've got Sam Blees, who is a driver we've seen really hustle this TCR car round in our ITCR series. I suppose it could be a little bit harsh saying he was a little bit off the pace last week, but I think with his high standards he would probably agree with us. But up there in second place at the moment in TCR, so another driver doing well, Yaz.
Yeah, I think that we say he's off the pace, but coming to grips with this league sometimes it does take a bit of a shift. Going to a full hour race versus the half hour races that we used to, or that the guys may be used to in the officials. So I'm sure he'll quickly learn and get up to speed with the rest of the guys. He's definitely a quality driver, so I think the best is yet to come for him.
Yeah, and I suppose also as well joining this league and realising that he's not going to get punted off at every corner. So that takes some getting used to.
Yeah, I guess that is a different spin on it.
Yes. So checkers are out. We've still got a few GT4s on track.
Yeah, at the moment, Wobbly is quite a fair distance up ahead of the rest of the pack in the GT4s.
Yeah, just noticed we've got no Jamie Wilson tonight as well. We've got no romper suit Brennan either. So we are a couple of cars down, but we've still got a 22-car grid split 11 and 11. So the racing is going to be fantastic. And I see Stacey has joined Discord, but she's still on mute. So hopefully she will say something when she's ready.
She'll also tell us where Martin is this evening, hopefully.
Yeah, he's probably got detention.
The TCRs look a bit tighter than the GT4s in first and place. Stephen Hawker and Sam Blees split by 4/10. So that's going to be quite tight there. Sorry, 4 100s actually. Mark Draper coming in third there with just 2 tenths behind. So that's a tight field again in the TCRs as expected. 9 cars within a second of each other.
Yeah, certainly is. Right. So, providing this is all working for me, because we all know sometimes it doesn't, I shall run through your GT4 grid and then hand the TCR grid over to Yaz. So, pole position tonight is wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. Tyler Newitt in second for BSTV Esports Orange. Chris Shaw in third for BSTV Esports Pink. And yet another one, Rob Venn, BSTV Esports Orange in fourth. Stefan Goebel, VTS Esports fifth. Simon Trendle, Team Chimera in sixth. Arnaud Chenonnier, RWC Racing in seventh. Eyelash De Vries, Next Level Racing in eighth. Chris Needham, RWC Racing in ninth. Marco Lewert, BTS Esports in 10th. And rounding out the grid, Jason Haddington, RWC Racing 2 in 11th.
Yeah, then when we have the TCRs coming up here, it's Stephen Hawker up front for Spectre 6 Purple, followed by Sam Blees, who we were just talking about, 9th for Alpine Stars, Geodesic. Mark Draper in third for Workout by Result, Gary Craig, BSTV Esport Green in fourth, Matt Almore, Spectre 6 Silver in fifth, Carl Hardy, Safeguard by Result in sixth. 7, we've got Lee Bowden for Sim Racing Channel, Pete Bingham in 8th. Oh, we have to get back to that. BSTV Esport Green. Shane Powell, Spectre 6 Silver in 9th. David is Result Clothing iRacing in 10th. Russell Cowell, Spectre 6 Purple in 11th. And we have Martin Brennan.
Ron
Gridded up.
Pursuit got in.
He's made it in 12th. Just in time.
Just, very just.
Good evening, chaps. How are we doing?
Good evening, Stacey. Where have you been?
Picking up Martin's car from the train station.
Oh dear.
So he's literally just got back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'd like to say that he's absolutely super duper quick and didn't need to qualify, but unfortunately I can't say that.
Well, it's always worth a try.
And they're doing a full lap around here, I think it is. A full parade lap. So it will be a while before we get to the start of this race.
Okay, that'll give us time to have a snooze.
Yeah, how do you see this one playing out tonight, Clyde?
Say again, mate, sorry.
How do you see this one playing out tonight? You want to jinx anybody?
Wobbly looks quick. Well, yeah, normally if I mention Wobbly crashes, so that's him out of it.
Sometimes you don't have to mention him any crashes, so he's always wobbly, but good when he's good. And
I think the fantastic bit about both of these grids is anybody can win.
Yeah, we've seen that play out in the first couple of races of this season. It's really a much tighter than it was last season. It was a bit of a runaway for Thailand.
Yeah.
But so far this season, everybody's been attached at the hip, and that's always makes for a really good broadcast and a really good race.
You just run your eyes down the names on the grid, and you wouldn't seriously rule anybody out. So that's fantastic.
Well, except for Pete Bingham, of course.
Well, yeah, he could be a dark horse, and I know he likes this track, so let's see what happens with Pete. A little bit of banter going on between the drivers before the race starts. Now, if I was Wobbly here, I would hold them as long as possible, just to make sure nobody gets a run on me down that straight.
Yeah, the first corner around here is a tight one, but a fast one. So
yeah.
You really need to get a good start here, because if someone gets the jump on you, it's easy to make that pass.
Doing a bit of tyre warming there always helps. Not. So, do you fancy jinxing anybody,
Can't wait to
Stacey?
see what Pete does. Oh no, I just can't. I was about to say I can't wait to see what Pete does because I really can't wait to hear what Yaz says.
I said I could, I know how to be the bigger man. I can ignore everything he said on Sunday, but I just won't. I just won't. So yeah.
Well, he's
We'll
gone
see how it-
early.
Payback
He's
time.
gone early. That's brave, but
Yeah.
I think he's done it.
Yeah, I think he caught everybody napping by going early. He's got a good start here, and it's going 4 wide and towards the back there. I think they need to clean up there. But it looks like everybody's got around the TCRs as well. So far, so good.
Yeah, a bit wide there from Sam Blees, but you can get away with that. NASCAR runs here; they go to a different county, I think, round that corner.
Yeah, it's a big runoff area there, which you really need to go very wide to get off track there. So it's just a good way to start the lap.
First time into the bus stop, no heroics in the GT4s. Curb cam from Sam.
Yeah, looks like
Oh, hello.
everybody-
Somebody was
someone's-
wide there. Looked like a David Ayres.
Oh, someone's.
Oh, Shane
stuck there.
Powell.
What's happened to him there?
Turn right, fella. Turn right. No, just on his own, wasn't he? Yeah, I think it was cold tyres.
Yeah. Oh, there's something else has happened on track as well. Don't know who that was. Oh, Jason Addington turning his
Jason
car.
Addington, yeah. No, stay there, fella. Stay there. Stay there. I think he did well there. He just held the brakes.
Whoever that was did well to get past him there as well. That was impressive.
Yeah,
Didn't get caught up.
I think that was Eyelash. Because we have no idea how to pronounce his name. So we're just calling him Eyelash. And Eyelash has gone round as well.
Oh, so that was a exciting first lap there. Plenty of action and incidents going on. And that's what we were talking about here. It's one of those tracks that everybody likes and everybody's been around 1,000 times, but you can never be on top of it. Something can happen in an instant, and you just turn yourself or get yourself in a bit of a pickle, and that's it.
Yeah, for me, it's one of them tracks. I'm not quick at any track, but it's just a track that I enjoy driving. Same as the Daytona Road Course, Sebring. I'm not quick round there, but I just really enjoy driving them. So, at the top of GT4, Chris Shaw has jumped Tyler Newitt. And Stephen Walker, Sam Blees, that's still the same in TCR.
Wobbly's got a bit. What's that? It looks like a 1 second gap up front. At the moment.
He's out of DRS range.
And everybody else behind him is within a second. So be interesting to see if he does what he did last week and run away at the front and create a gap. We know that the tow along the straight here is massive. So if you can stay within close proximity to the car ahead, they're not going to run away from you. So Wobbly could be thinking about that and trying to break that tow at the front, and it will help him pull away from Chris Shaw, and in so doing that, pulling away from the rest of the pack.
So Tyler's already got his excuse in and said that he's carrying an injury. I think he took that out of Pete Bingham's book that will be out later in the year of crash excuses.
see the TCRs going onto this long straight here now, and you'll just see how the following the car behind will just stick with the car ahead, because it's you just can't get away here because it's such a good slipstream.
Yeah, they've dropped Gary Craig a tiny bit, but nothing major.
And Wobbly's also really picking up that gap in front of the GT4s.
Yeah, it's eking out, isn't it? Right, we got a replay here of Pete. What's he done? Ooh, it's a slow-mo. Too bad at the moment. Maybe a little bit out wide.
Don't know where he's
He's
going.
he's a lot out wide, yeah.
Yeah, where is he going? I will reserve my comment for later.
That's a shortcut, I think.
Yeah, I think
he's cutting on that side.
You should get a slowdown there. I think cutting any part of the bus stop. But he's still running in 8th. I think he started in 7th, so he hasn't lost too much place there.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have better camera that Pete promises. You know, on the weekend.
Yeah.
Deliver nothing, so that's a big shame.
Still waiting for Pete to update all the camera packs for us.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll have it done tomorrow. So good battle here, Russell Cowell and David Ayres.
Yeah,
Russell trying to use that slipstream, Yaz.
Yeah, going into this bus, or where they're not in the bus stop yet. It's turn 1. I think the slipstream is going to come into play just as they come onto here. Let's see who's this here.
That's Carl Hardy having a go at Matt Elmore. And Lee Bowden, who didn't qualify particularly well, he's just behind him. There's just a quick look at his engine.
Too wide into that bus stop there.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can be done if both of them are aware of what the other one's doing.
Exactly, yes.
But it looks like Matt Elmore's lost out 2 positions there along that straight in the bus stop.
We don't really need to see that angle, do we?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Never again. Lee, if you want more footage, you're gonna have to switch consoles. That's not gonna work. We made it work with the camera team, so why not this one, you know?
Exactly, yes. So, yeah, you're right, Yaz. Wobbly is slowly eking out that gap, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pulling away. I think Tyler Newt is also hassling Chris Shaw, which will, if they're not playing the team game here, it could cost them a little bit of time. Too wobbly, once he's got that gap, Chris Shaw's not going to have that toe down the straight end.
Oh, I'd like to see that from above.
Is that Marco and Anish and Anye? Looks like Marco just put it in underneath Arno.
He's come from a long way back. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, I think that's just he may have just been a little bit late and tried to duck out of it, but both of them came second best there, unfortunately. And now the GT4 needs to make his way past these 2 TCRs. It should be easy for them on the straight.
Yeah, so that's eyelashes, isn't it? From his earlier spin. Wasn't as deep in the field as Jason Haddington, because he was right at the back at one point.
Yeah, he's still got quite a bit of the field to get, the TCR field to get through, to be back in this mix with the GT4s.
Tyler Newitt has got past Chris Shaw, I think. I never trust what I'm seeing on SDK.
Yeah, remember this top 4 all in the same team. so they'll be talking to each other, and I'm sure they'll be playing nice with each other as best as they can.
Well, they're all in the same stable, but not exactly the same team. And if you could see our team chat, they absolutely hate each other.
Yeah, but it does help, you know, to coordinate things if you can all be talking to each other, and just keep yourselves out of trouble as best as possible. That being said, they're all competitive, so it's not a case of just you go by. It will be very calculated. You know, they don't want to give up their positions just for the sake of giving it up. So
Yeah,
Well,
Arno and Marco still going at it.
In fact, yes, you can't see it, but we have to make boundaries. We have different team chats, voice chat, I mean, and they never talk to each other again. And they even call up Clyde, asking if he likes internal battle, things like that. Still no response for Clyde, so we're still waiting.
And obviously we don't stir them up either, so, you know.
not at all. I'm sure not at all. But yeah, looking at the TCRs, they're still looking in the same order that they started mostly. Only Matt Almore has dropped a couple of positions, it seems.
Yeah, Lee Bowden is up 2, isn't he? But he's got about a 3-second gap up the road now to Gary Craig. This is actually a lot more spread out than I thought it was going to be.
I think it's they might be spread out, but once you know they're up in packs, so they are keeping together in the little packs that they are. I mean, except for Wobbly, who's again run away completely at the front of the pack. With Tyler now trying to catch up with him.
3.5 seconds now, isn't it?
Yeah, Tyler looks to be putting some space between himself and Chris now while he's chasing down Wobbly. And Rob Vin is hassling Chris now as much as Tyler was.
So, Stacey, we've always known that Wobbly is quick. No, he got that win last week. He's leading this week. Do you think he's sorted his consistency problems out?
Definitely, 100%. He's looking good tonight. So hopefully, me saying that's not going to jinx him.
Well, this TCR battle is looking very spicy at the moment, with Carl Hardy chasing Lee Bowden. Matt Almo still right on the heels of Carl Hardy now. So these three are looking to be having the battle for this for the best at the start of this race.
Yeah, I think Lee Bowden has just got past Carl Hardy, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him disappear off into the distance. And I shouldn't really say this, but to me, it seems that these two argue enough as it is, but it seems that Carl Hardy has got the measure of David Ayres this season.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after this broadcast is watched back, and who's going to be bringing the coffee tomorrow morning in the office. It's starting to look like Chris Shaw is the cork in the bottle in that little train that's forming behind him. Oh, what's happened here? Something's happened to Tyler. As I just say that, and Chris Shaw's gotten past Tyler again. But it looks like something's just happened there. That Tyler's dropped a few seconds back from where he was.
Yeah, what happened to Tyler?
It was just as I was saying that Chris Shaw was the cork in the bottle in the train there, and something had happened. Simon Trendle's holding onto the back of that train very well. You know, these BSTV guys are usually very quick, and Simon Trendle's showing his muscle in playing along with the big boys. So this is for the other 2 podium places. I mean, we've got 5 cars in. Stefan Goebel also picking up on the back of that there. So we've got 5 cars battling it out for the top positions.
Okay, that was absolutely horrible. That was wobbly kneecaps trying to sing.
This is Sam Blees now getting hassled by Mark Draper, with Stephen Walker putting a little bit of a gap between himself and second place there. This train is looking good, and Stefan Goebel's trying to get onto the back of that with what looks like his ex-girlfriend hanging on the side there. Don't know where he got into some trouble. That his mirror is hanging off the side of his car.
Yeah,
these two look.
They're still going at it, aren't they?
Yeah, these two look like they're having a right old battle for this race. We've got Eilish de Vries coming up to the back of this, this leading TCR battle. So he's going to have to make his way through there. I wonder how that's going to work. That's going to shuffle up the TCRs in any way, or if he's going to do it safely. Hopefully, he does do it cleverly and not just try to force his way through there. Because we'd like to see that top 4 battle it out for the rest of the hour that's left.
Yeah, and sometimes, Stacey, when you get these GT4s coming through the TCRs, it can work in both ways, can't it? It can either split them up, or it can give them an opportunity to overtake.
Definitely, there's always room there to take that option. If anyone's getting in the way and doing a wrong move, trying to overtake, you can take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah, I've seen Jamie Wilson, I believe, has a couple of times I've watched him use other cars as a pick. So it can be done.
Yeah, if you're really clever about it, you can really take advantage of it in different ways. Whether you're the car being passed or the one behind, just chasing after the GT4 car and almost making the pass with the GT4 on the car in your class. While they sort of not really watching you and just trying to get the GT4 out of the way. Being careful. If you're brave enough, you can take advantage of your competition being careful.
Yeah, and we're seeing a little bit of what you should do as a GT4 driver here from Jason Haddington. Not forcing the issue through the twisty part of the track, waiting for the 2 straights and getting the job done.
There's definitely a good way and a bad way to do this, and that's a very good example of a good way of doing it by Jason.
So how's the swear box getting on tonight, Stacey?
It's really quiet, which is really strange.
You didn't
Get a bit skint.
Did you put his dummy in?
That's probably why it's quiet. Content in driving.
Yeah, we're 11 laps into this race now, and Wobbly Kneecap has pulled out 7.5 seconds in those 11 laps. So
Yeah,
looks like he's doing one of his superb drives like he did last week. Not to jinx him now, but he's pulled his cap. Chris Shaw is again in the lead of this second train, following him here.
Trying to work out whether Tyler and Chris are genuinely racing each other and making a pass as and when the other car makes a mistake, or whether they're using each other to fuel save and then try and gain that time back on wobbly kneecaps by having a much shorter pit stop.
Yeah, we know Tyler is the king of fuel saving. I mean, he's really the one that's been hit above everybody else when it came to that. Chris Shaw's driving the McLaren, which definitely needs some form of fuel saving to be able to get an advantage. Is that car's just very heavy on fuel. So even going a little bit longer, if you can, it still gets offset by a longer full time when you do stop. But yeah, you're really onto something. There, Clyde. It could be that they're working together to try and eke that back in a pit stop.
Yeah, and obviously Rob Venn is getting a double benefit because he's just sitting behind both of us. Shout out to our comrade Bill Switzer, who's tuned in from Ohio. Bill's not with us at the moment. I have no idea what he's doing up there, but he does usually go up there for a little bit of cooler weather from his other home in Florida.
Must be nice.
And there are parts of America at the moment having some really ridiculous temperatures, aren't they? I've seen temperatures up around the 45-degree mark in some places, so hope everybody's doing okay in that. We could do with some of that in the UK at the moment.
Sounds like a regular Saturday afternoon in Africa. No, we're suffering with some heavy downpours and winter down in Cape Town at the moment. It's rained non-stop for about 5 or 6 days now. So yeah, we could do with some of that warmer weather.
Do you ever get snow?
Only on the really sort of high mountain tops, but not down in the cities and where we all live and all that. We don't really get snow down here.
Just seen on the timing screen, Jason Haddington has made his way past Pete Bingham as well. So it'll be a big sigh of relief there from Jason that he got past Pete without being punted. I might change him. Yeah, I might change him from Bumpy Bingham to Punting Pete.
I still prefer Princess Pete.
He really enjoyed wearing that dress. Far too much.
Yeah, you say that using the past tense.
Yeah.
He's still wearing it then, yeah?
I think he only puts it on for bed now.
As we say, regular Saturday afternoon.
So coming up to 24 minutes in, I would guess, and it is a guess, believe me, that if the fuel window hasn't just opened, it will be opening very, very shortly. So it will be interesting to see if anybody tries to get an undercut by pitting early. Obviously, the downside is track position. Especially if you're a GT4 driver, you really don't want to get yourself buried into that TCR field and then have to be patient getting through it. But could be a tactic for the TCR drivers.
Have you done your who you think's going to win yet, or have you not done that yet? because of course I was late to the broadcast.
No, because to be honest, we sort of said that if you look at the field, it could be anybody. This league is that close these days.
Yeah, it's very tight at the moment. Who do you think is going to go for it, Stacey? Please feel free to jinx anybody right now.
My money's on Wobbly tonight, or Chris Shaw. Sorry, Tyler, when he listens back to the broadcast. And Mark Draper.
Yeah, Tyler won't care because he's still on a high from his trip to the sex cult. And Mark Draper is looking quick as usual. You know, we never take that away. But Stephen Walker, to me, he's the guy to beat in TCR at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's checked out at the front as well for, you know,
he knows how to get the job done, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he's checked out at the front. You can see the big gap between him and Mark Draper at the moment. You know, and Mark is being hassled by the other two behind him, Sam Blees and Gary Craig. So it's, you know, like we say, that getting out of the toe. Once you're out of the toe, it makes it very difficult up the straight. These other two are just going to be biding their time down the straight if they're not making the pass because the slipstream is so huge. You know, and you just can't get away from them. And yeah, like we know, as long as you're battling and looking in your mirrors, it's taking a little bit, you know, just a little bit of time away from being as fast as you can be.
Yeah, and Gary Craig has done well, Stacey, hasn't he? Because he was getting dropped a little bit at the start, but he's right on the rear end of this battle now.
Yeah, I'd definitely probably keep an eye on this lot because I think something's going to happen with these three.
Well, three very, very sensible drivers. We'll throw that in the mix as well. So they're not going to do anything stupid, he says, as they all pile into each other.
I think someone's going to get fed up sitting behind for sure, and they're going to try and make a move soon.
I think what we've seen from these you know, these three in question that we're talking about is that they're very calculated. You know, they won't just jump in there for the sake of jumping in. You know, they'll size up their move. They'll wait for a mistake. You know, they're not just going to put it up the inside somewhere and cause any sort of unnecessary trouble.
Yeah, and you know, we know Mark Draper is quick. We know, unfortunately, Mark can have the odd off race, but this doesn't look like one of them. From what we've seen of Sam last week and in the first few rounds of ITCR, he looks like a very sensible, measured driver, and a very welcome addition to this league. And Gary Craig, we know, has got the patience of a saint. He most certainly won't try anything silly. He might possibly be sitting there with everything crossed, hoping that the two in front do come together so he can get past them. But I half expect if any of those three is going to try something different with pit strategy, it would probably be Gary.
With you on that one for sure, Clyde.
Yeah, I think the guys get a bit fed up with me banging on about, you know, if you can't get past somebody, do something different in the pit stop.
I don't think it'd be long till Chris Shaw has a look there. I mean, it looks like he's been looking already.
Yeah, I think Yaz was right. Unfortunately, with Chris, he's going to be the one whose fuel window is the slimmest because of the gas guzzling McLaren, and so saying that is Marco Lewert is the first one to blink in GT4.
Yeah, the two, him and Anish and Anya, were going at it for quite some time there. So Marco's, if that was planned or that's just to give him some free air, some free time. We'll see how that one plays out and where he comes out after Arno stops.
Oh, there we go. Mark Draper in. And I was just about to say Lee Bowden is slowly eking into that gap as well. So Mark Draper first to blink in TCR. Now we have to let the story unfold and see what happens.
The gap now at the front of the GT4 field is over 10 seconds. So Wobbly definitely knows something that the other guys don't. To have pulled that sizable gap before the pit stops. So barring something really bad happening, Wobbly looks well on track here.
And there goes the McLaren.
Yep, here goes the McLaren, and Stefan Goebel follows him in as well. So now we'll see what pace Tyler and Rob can do at the front here now. If how much they can score out of that pit stop. Someone's turned themselves.
Oh, that's Russell Cowell.
Is that the bus stop? Going too wide. Oof.
6 of one and half a dozen of the other to me. I think Russell could have given him more room because David is going to have to make that turn at some point.
Yeah, and at the same time, you got to also know when to concede there and just lift off a little bit. Sometimes two just doesn't go into one. If the timing of such a move really needs to be on, and that just didn't work for either of them.
Arnaud Chenonnier in the pits and Jason Haddington.
Yeah, so Arnaud Chenonnier was in a battle with Marco Lewert before that pit stop, so we'll have to see where they come out. Looks like goes past quite easily though. So that's worked out for Marco.
I would guess the McLaren has to take a little bit extra fuel as well.
This is right.
Let's have a look at the pit stop times. So Arnaud was stationary for 28.55. Where's Mr. Lewert? I can't find him. Everything's moving on my screen and my old eyes can't do it.
Marco was
27.78, yeah. So not a great deal in it.
Well, it's a full second, and based on how close they were, second is a second, and he's put that gap between them.
Mark Draper has come out behind Shane Powell. Not immediately behind, but that's dropped him down to 9th at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like the other GT4s are now in the pits, so that front battle is going to be interesting. Wobbly's just leaving the pit lane now.
Simon Trendle stayed out. And I thought Simon was getting dropped as well, but he managed to get that back right up behind Rob Venn. So this is the interesting part, where people come out and what they've done with their strategies and has it worked or not.
So Tyler's come out ahead of Chris Shaw. Rob Venn has dropped back a little bit. I mean, Rob Venn, before that pit stop, Rob Venn was right on the tail of Tyler. Looking at the pit stops, Tyler was stationary for a lot shorter than Rob Venn, a full 2 seconds, so that we can see out there on track at the moment. You can see that gap that he's pulled in at pit stop, and that just comes down to the fact that he needed less fuel than anybody else. Like we say, he knows how to feather that throttle while still going fast, and that's definitely shown in that pit stop.
Okay, so TCR leader has pitted, I believe.
Simon Trindle is in now from the lead of the GT4 pack.
No, he's still out. It's SDK playing up. So, where does Simon Trendle come out in the Newitt Shaw Venn battle? Bear in mind, he was at the back of that little pack. Martin Brennan has pitted. Simon Trendle is leaving the pit lane now. Wow, that's worked for him.
Yeah, that's definitely worked out for him.
Jumped all three of them.
Yeah, he had a very short stop there. Looking at the pit stop times, so he's probably saved quite a lot of fuel behind that in that train while he was there. But that was a very short stop by Simon Trendle. And that again, pit stops. We spoke about it in the beginning. That's where the strategy is going to come in. What are they going to do? We didn't know up front, but now it's all played out and we can see where everybody is. Simon Trindle's definitely got the jump on everybody else. Now it's just a case of, has he put in enough to make it to the end?
And that's why I like this big pits window. It gives drivers so many different tactical options. Marco Lewert has had another issue somewhere. Oh, and there's a TCR off there.
Oh,
that's Lee Bowden, isn't it? Oh,
Marco. We saw an example.
That was a GT3 move, wasn't it, in a GT4?
Yeah, we saw a good example of a pass a little earlier on the from the GT4s to the TCRs, and we've just seen the opposite now. That was very unfortunate for Lee Bowden. Marco was trying to put it in there and just got a little bit excited.
I was going to say, Lee's already out of position. He should have been a lot higher, I believe, anyway, because I think he's really good. So that's not going to do well for him there.
Yeah, he didn't qualify particularly well. And like you say, Stacey, sometimes, just being a few tenths down in qualifying can put you in a position that you don't want to be in, and you're fighting yourself and fighting your car and fighting the track for the rest of the race, trying to get back up where you should be.
That's not going to put him off too much, and he can carry on and hope there's not too much damage, so he can hopefully try and get back where he should be.
He hasn't had his pit stop yet, so I'm sure when he goes in now, he'll take his fast repair just to get him back up to speed if he has picked up any damage.
Yeah, and Lee's not a quitter, is he? He's in this championship fight, so he knows he needs to keep going, whatever, just to score points. And I think, I could be wrong, but is Simon Trendle chasing down Wobbly? I'm sure that gap was 8.5 seconds after the pit stop.
Yeah, Wobbly just needs to play it safe now. 7 seconds. You can see that gap actually coming down as we speak. But you can just manage the race from here, manage the gap from here for the last 20 minutes. We'll see see him come through the victorious. But yeah, like you're saying, Simon is definitely looking like he's lapping a lot quicker than what Wobbly is at the moment. He's also putting a bit of space between himself and Tyler. I do think also Wobbly is making his way through some TCR traffic, it seems, which the other guys will need to also now navigate. Hopefully, for the guys following, hopefully they catch up at a time that is, or at a place on the track that is beneficial to make that pass easy.
Gap is under 7 seconds now. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Lee Bowden and Pete Bingham both in the pits.
It's amazing to see that Pete didn't put when Gary Craig put it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That being said, Gary hasn't come in yet, if I'm looking at this correctly.
I think Gary said to Pete, I'm pitting this lap, and then didn't. And Pete went in anyway.
I think Gary said, I'm pitting this lap just after crossing the line, but Pete is so far behind. You know,
Yeah.
he pitted 1 lap early.
I didn't say it, Pete.
Funny.
If you're watching this, Pat Peak, I didn't say it.
I really hope Gary pits this lap now.
That would be so great. Somebody in the BSTV team tells Gary to pit now. That would put so much of a shame on Pete. Oh man. He's really paying for Sunday, right?
I'm not saying it.
Beans on Sunday, wasn't he? So anyway, yes, talking about Sunday, who was driving your car?
Apparently, Yaz, not Yaz. It's my alter ego. He's a lot faster than what I am, so I'm hoping he can come out again next week Sunday.
Did you let the wife have a go? Was that it? Oh, and Gary has pitted. Oh, Pete Bingham, you plonker. I think we can dine out on that one for a while. Matt Elmore also in.
I think we can close the broadcast now. The day is done. Yeah.
Thank you for picking that up, once, Sam. I think that's all we needed.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody cares who's going to win this now. Not really. We got our fun and laughs for the evening, so that's fine.
David Ayres in the pits. Still waiting on Stephen Walker, Sam Blees, Carl Hardy. Gary Craig, where was he? He was behind. What's
He was
happened to
behind
Mark Draper. Gary's got out in front of Mark.
Yeah.
There's,
really.
No, there's only half a second in their pit times.
Just remember, Mark Draper pulled in very early, so the guys could have just gone around, a lot quicker. There was a bit of he was hoping for the undercut. It may have cost him, and I'm sure Sam is now going to show me the incident that proves that what I'm talking is nonsense.
I was going to say he's well out of it. He's not where he should be.
Yeah, that's not what cost him 3 seconds, right? I mean, just that piece of dirt. I can't find anything else, so...
Mr. Hardy has just had a swear himself, I believe, for an off-track. Stephen Walker's in the pits.
It looks... what's that?
Oh.
It's Marco Lewert having an incident and
Did
Carl Hardy.
I think Marco was slowing to let him pass?
No, it looks like
And
Marco
maybe
went
got a
wide and
wheel
hit
on
the
the
wall.
car, or wheel on the grass.
Yeah, it looks like Marco just ran a little bit wide there and just re-entered the track. Unfortunate for Carl Hardy.
Let's
I
have
think
another look at it.
He's got it past him quite safely. I think it's 2 corners later that we see something
Yeah,
happen.
he went in too deep there.
I think Marco is taking his revenge from the football.
Yeah, could be. Look, he's out
Yeah.
wide there. Does he
Out
get on
wide
the
there.
grass? Yes.
Yeah. And then, and
Yeah, I don't
just
think he
tries
hit
to
the
be in.
wall, did he?
Yeah, he was just trying to avoid the wall there and came back on track. Just not very safely for Carl. Carl was just minding his business.
This is definitely not the driving we see from Marco at all. There's something obviously not right with him this evening. This is not like him at all.
I think Sam's hit the nail on the head. It's the football. Right, so Stephen Walker is out in front of Gary Craig. So that's as it was. Sam Blease is in now. Let's see where Sam Blease comes out. He is the last one to pit. Get me on Stephen Walker. There he is. Sam Blease coming now. Yeah, Gary Craig's up to second. Mark Draper. What's going to happen with these? Sam's just going to have him, I think. Yeah.
There we go. You asked earlier what happened to Mark Draper. It looks like he's still in this battle in the top 4. I think he was 4th before he.
No, Gary Craig was 4th.
Okay, so Gary Craig
is now second.
So that's shuffled things up in the TCRs. Pit stops again. I've come into it. I've played it all.
As they usually do.
Yeah, that lead up front, I think that Wobbly might have been listening to you and he's maintained that lead up front there. He's still 7 and a bit seconds between himself and Simon Trendle.
Stretched it out a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, we got to move for 3rd place between Chris Shaw and Tyler, battling it out.
Well, I expect these two to start fighting now, Stacey. I think they've realised they're not going to catch Wobbly unless he makes a mistake. So the battle for 2nd place is on, isn't it? 3rd place at the moment.
Definitely game on for sure.
And has Simon Trendle's BMW got enough fuel to get to the end?
No.
That was a very short stop by Simon Trendle. If you put it into perspective, the Tyler stopped for 24 seconds. Simon Trendle stopped for under 22 seconds in the BMW. So he must have been doing some really good fuel saving to have made it to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, he did stop a lap later, didn't he? And I can't remember a Team Chimera driver cocking up a fuel strategy. I'm sure Jamie Wilson has at some point.
And now he's got some TCRs between himself and the other GT4, so he again, like Wobbly, all Simon has to do is manage the last 10 minutes of this race to a 2nd place.
Yeah, as Yaz says, coming up on 10 minutes to go.
This looks like it could get juicy for the last 10 minutes. This time, Chris Shaw taking the inside of that bus stop the lap before. We saw Tyler bouncing over the curbs.
God, look at these two.
They're definitely at it, aren't they?
Edge of seat right now.
No team orders in this team.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play it smart here with the traffic coming up ahead. It looks like Tyler's got the move done there. But still, with moving through this traffic, this is not over yet. As we can see, Tyler's behind the TCR that can go nowhere, and Chris Shaw's got the optimal line, passing some traffic, and he's got the place back.
But the TCR, I don't know who is that TCR driver. Is that Shane Powell? Yeah,
That'd be Shane Powell, yeah.
did very well there. Got out of the way. Don't want anything to do with that battle. Thank you very much. Crack on, boys.
Yeah, these two. We've got about four laps left, 4 or 5 laps left, and these two are definitely gonna have a go at it for the last 4 or 5 laps. And all Rob Venn is just watching this from behind, and you know, he's looking at it and probably just saying, you know, you two go wild, take each other out, and I can take the podium from you.
So Lee Bowden has he just got past Matt No, I think Matt Elmore is putting the pressure on Lee.
I am thinking there's a lot of drivers that have got a hangover tonight, still, from last night.
Yeah, you would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, some of them are faster with the hangover.
That'll probably be one of Pete's excuses, even though he doesn't like football. And that's Pete Bingham on the back of that battle as well.
Yeah, he's just creeped up on the back of him there. You know, the two of them are fighting there, so it would play into the favor of whoever's following. So we've got seven minutes left, about 3.5, 4 laps to go, and we definitely have a few battles on track. A few cars close together, still trying to fight for positions here, and we're in for an exciting end to this race.
Yeah, Mark Draper will chase Sam Blease all the way for that third step on the podium. So third place on both podiums are up for grabs. It does look like 1 and 2 in both classes, barring any catastrophes, could be sorted.
Yeah, these two are still going at it, and Rob Venn is really pulled up close behind them now. Just a little bit of a gap between him and them, just enough space to watch what unfolds in front of him from a distance.
Hey, yeah, just enough time to hit the brakes if it all goes wrong.
Yeah, I think you know, these two are quick. Oh, we say just enough space, but he's now all the way in there now. We saw Rob Venn pull a really good move on Tyler a couple of weeks ago on the last lap. He could be sizing one up here as well, and it looks if he can pull something off, he could pull two spots in one move here.
He's very close, Jazz.
Yeah, I think if Rob manages that again, Tyler will be suicidal.
We just see Simon Trendle making his way through these TCRs, split up that battle a little bit that we were watching just a few moments ago. These paint schemes look very similar. The colors, yeah, it's a bit confusing. Here's the Sam Blees and Mark Draper.
Yeah, I was just going to say they're very similar but very different.
I think Mark's getting ready there for a move. Is there going to be enough time, Clyde?
Well, Mark, the trouble is that they're both top class drivers. Sam is going to know exactly where to put his car. Mark is going to know where he can get the tow. Do any other cars come into it? Yeah.
This is gonna get spicy now with them coming up to this to these TCRs to come around to lap them. I'm sure the two cars behind are licking their lips at this now.
Rob Venn's definitely getting ready.
Yeah, we spoke about this earlier about traffic management, and I think that this is gonna, maybe they are coming up to them at a really good spot. Coming up onto the straight, but there's 3 cars to pass here, so whoever does this as efficiently as possible is going to be the one to benefit. Ooh.
Guessing that is Mr. Bingham.
He's Pete Bingham. He's let him through quite easily there without any trouble. And now we've got the bus stop coming up, and this is going to take some coordination.
A great camera angle.
I think Matt Elmo played it very, very well there through the bus stop. It's cost Rob Venn a little bit of time, but I'm sure he's going to catch up to the back of him very soon. There's still some more TCRs to get through. This is Lee Bowden now.
Yeah, he's trying to let him through, isn't he? But without losing any time to Matt Elmore behind him, which didn't really happen for him because Matt is right on him now. Cheeky little look there.
Yeah, so where are we?
I think the leader is about to start the last lap.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have the white flag now. He's about to pass the start-finish line.
And Marco Lawert on the chat, apologising for his accidents. Also nice to see he's put a very humble apology on Discord. So, game on, boys. Sorry, Stacey.
Oh, sorry, interrupt. I was just going to say it's nice of him because it's not like him. That's not him driving tonight. That's not his style. He doesn't drive like that. He's a fantastic driver, and he's just had an off night tonight. Bless him.
Yeah, football hangover.
Definitely.
So, can Tyler get past Chris? Can Rob get past both of them?
Looks like Simon Trindle has got enough fuel to take him to the end there.
Yeah,
just a few corners left.
He's done well.
And now Tyler.
Yep. Just looking at where the cars are positioned, I think Stephen Walker's going to have to do another lap. Because first place in GT4 is between first place and second place in TCR.
So he'll be doing that lap quietly by himself.
Yeah, so
he won't need to rush that at all.
No, but in the official results, won't that look like he lapped everybody?
Yeah, it looks like these three have sorted themselves out.
There we go. We saw him. It's all he deserved for that gap.
Yeah, that battle stayed in that order. Very tight one. I hope that Stephen Walker has enough fuel to make it all the way around, but looks like he's taken the win in the TCRs now.
Yeah, this is Romper Suit Brennan having a go at Russell Cowell.
Can he make a last corner move here? No. We've got some GT4s coming around the corner here. Arne Chenonnier had some fun with Marco Lewert earlier on, and Carl Hardy as well. Huh?
Yeah, Eyelash de Vries.
I love the team name, by the way. That's yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And yeah, we've got Jason Addington just making his way over the line.
About this team, I have to say, I like their new livery. It's looking good. Yeah. I'm sure you've not noticed they changed, but they did.
Yeah, and yeah, we have our TCR winner coming over the line.
The slowest car on track because he's finishing last. Well,
there we have it.
Stacey, round that up for us. What did we just see?
Sorry, I just walked away then. That was an absolute fantastic battle there up front. I love the fact that we actually saw some different runners up front. And yeah, I've got to apologise to Trendle there. I said he was going to run out of fuel, but he didn't.
Yeah, he obviously, you know, he did that very, very well. Yaz, commanding again from Wobbly. Are we seeing, is this the starting of a new champion this season?
Well, he's definitely showing some pace. You know, he's controlled the last two races well. He's put a gap between himself and the rest of the field. He's done everything right. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Last season we saw him win some races. We saw he had some pace, but he just made a few mistakes here and there. If these last two races are to go by, anything to go by, it looks like everybody's got a lot of work to do to catch up with him.
Stacey, same sort of question for you with Stephen Walker in TCRs. It's, you know, even though that TCR field is, you know, really, really close, Stephen just seems to be slightly quicker than the rest of them at the moment.
Certainly. I mean, you've got Walker up front for sure, and then everybody else is very close together. So it's one of those situations like, who's going to be second? who's going to be third, who's going to be fourth. It could be anybody. I think out of the whole of the TCR field, I think it's Mark Draper, who I believe is probably the closest and the most skilled to perhaps maybe take him on, but we'll just see over the next few weeks.
Yeah, indeed we will. So, have we got your official finishing order? Let me have a go at doing it from SDK. So, winner of your GT4 field was Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. Simon Trendle came home second for Team Chimera. Chris Shaw third for BSTV Esports Pink. Good day for them. Two BSTV Esports Orange drivers next, with Tyler Newitt fourth and Rob Venn fifth. Stefan Goebel sixth for VTS Esports. Chris Needham for RWC Racing in seventh. Arnaud Chenonnier for RWC Racing in eighth. Eyelash De Vries for Team 404 Talent Not Found in ninth. Jason Haddington for RWC Racing 2 in 10th. And rounding out your GT4 field was Marco Lewert for VTS Esports in 11th.
Yeah, your TCR field, Stephen Walker taking away the win for Spectre 6 Purple, Gary Craig, BSTV Esports Green, second, very good second place there, well played. Sam Blees bringing up the bottom step of the podium for Alpine Star Geodesic. Mark Draper in fourth for Work Guard by result. Lee Bowden, Sim Racing Channel in fifth. Matt Almore, Spectre 6 Silver in sixth. Pete Bingham in seventh, BSTV Esport Green. We didn't see much of him in the race. Shane Powell in eighth, Spectre 6 Silver. David Ayres for Result Clothing iRacing Team in ninth. Russell Cowell, Spectre 6 Purple in 10th place. Martin Brennan, Safeguard by Result in 11th. And Carl Hardy, Safeguard by Result in 12th. Unfortunate 12th place for Carl.
Okay, guys, let's get these interviews on the road, and let's welcome our two on the trot GT4 winner, Wobbly Kneecaps. Welcome to the booth.
Thanks.
Hey.
You're making this look a bit easy now, aren't you?
I guess. I mean, I think the difference is that the BMW just got a little slight buff. I mean, I was on it last season, but it was slower, and now it's, I think, almost on the same level, which, well, basically makes me go a little bit faster, I guess.
Okay, and obviously the first three tracks, Red Bull Ring on iRacing anyway, you wouldn't have known a lot about. Hockenheim, Watkins Glen, possibly tracks that you're good at, but next week a brand new challenge with the Chicago Street Circuit. What do you think your chances are of the hat trick of wins?
To be fair, I didn't even buy it yet, so I didn't even check it out, and I have no clue how the track goes. And my inside information, Tyler, told me that the Porsche is probably going to be faster there. But basically, I don't know. I'm looking forward to a street track.
Yeah, it should be good fun. So not only did you win, but you also came home with the fastest lap. So congratulations on that. We've got a lot of interviews to get through tonight. So, any tricky moments in that race for you, or was it as plain sailing as it looked?
On all the practice sessions we did, I was a lot faster. I think 0.4 seconds or something in that range. And the first 3 or 4 laps, I held off a little bit just not to cook the tires, and then after that, I just went for it again. Basically the same as I did on Hockenheim. And I kept pushing, and then, well, I managed to just try to manage the gap because I didn't want to overdo it. And yeah, I did hit the grass a couple of times and stuff like that, but it was just me losing focus. I do hope, to be fair, I do hope that the car that this is not a normal race I want to drive. I want to race with the guys, and I'm pretty sure they all can. And especially Simon was really fast in the second stint. And yeah, I think if he qualified better, it would have been a little bit closer on top. And the other guys, I mean, Rob and Tyler didn't really practice that much. So I think if they're there, they would probably been up there with me.
Well, I'm sure the rest of the GT4 drivers are currently scheming on how they can nobble you at Chicago. So, like I say, we'll look forward to that. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go, mate?
First shout out is to the wall in Chicago I'm going to hit. I don't know which one it is, but it's probably going to be one. You guys are putting up the broadcast. I mean, again, I say this every week almost. It's just real fun to watch. Shout out to the other guys in the Discord. And, just shout out to the sponsors. And yeah, I mean, I have so many shout outs. Paul Burgess, for example. I mean, and everyone, yeah, it's just great fun to drive this league, man. Everyone should join.
Excellent. Well, thanks for those words and congratulations on your second win on the trot.
Yeah,
Wobbly kneecaps.
All right.
Okay, he's gone. Right. Yaz, let's bring in our two-time TCR winner. Couldn't even think of the bleeding car then. Steve Walker, welcome to the booth.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, well done, Stephen. Another win for you. You're making it look easy up front there. How did you find that race today?
Anything but easy, if I'm if I'm being honest. I wasn't expecting to qualify in pole, so when I did, it completely threw my whole plan out for the race, and I just was like, well, if I can just stay out in front, they're all going to save. So I was like, I'll just try and go as fast as I can. And I think there was a few little errors from, like, really tiny ones, nothing big, but on this track, it's just enough just to add a bit of time on and then pull away, and I managed to break the tire. Like I say, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you say, this track, if you're going to pass somebody, you need to really make a gap. Otherwise, that toe is just going to bring them into the race all the time. And you managed to do that up front. Just put a little bit of a gap between yourself and the second place. Whoever it was in second place at any one time. That changed over the race a few times. But another victory again for you in this league. I mean, we're almost becoming best friends and talking every week. You finding, you said now that you weren't expecting to be on top there, which means you really do think that these guys are up there and the challenge is on for you for the season ahead?
Oh God, yeah. No, that I genuinely despise Watkins Glen, and I've been poorly the last week, so practice has been at a bare minimum as well. And I know when we were getting in practice, when I managed to make it, their pace, I was like, I can't go that quick. Like, I just can't. It was Gary that I was worried about the most, having seen like the practice times, and I really, really struggled. And then I did the official last night and crashed out after the first corner. I just smashed straight into a GT4 car, so I didn't get that race to practice either. So yeah, no, I was not expecting this, and the guys are tough to beat. Like Lee, I think had an off day, but we all have tracks where we don't just get on with, so I'm not expecting to run away with anything at all.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's not just about putting in the fastest lap; it's about putting that race together that gets you on top there, and that's what it looks like you're able to do.
I tend to focus on my race pace rather than qualifying, and then kind of blag qualifying, and then if I know I can, like a bit like everyone describes it at MotoGP as Lorenzo-esque, which I hate, but I try and do that. just hit the time as close to the quickest time as I can every lap.
Yeah, well, well done on your win here. To go with your other good results that you've had so far. It's your second win of the season. To go with your second place that you got last week. So well done for the start of the season, and I hope it goes well for you for the rest of it. Next week we see you at Chicago Street Track.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did a bit of practice when it came out in week 13. I think in the new Porsche, and I really like street tracks. So Sod's Law, because I like it, I'll probably end up hitting a wall and making some sort of mistake. But I do like street tracks, so I'm looking forward to that massively.
Oh, good. We look forward to seeing you there. Is there anyone you'd like to say thank you to this week?
Yeah, obviously you guys putting on the show again, fantastic. All the sponsors, the other guys. racing with. It's like I say, it's tough competition, and it drives you to better yourself, which is always good. And then obviously my teammates turning up, being awesome, and then just my brother just for watching and cheering me on.
Yeah. Well done again on that win, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, cheers guys, thank you very much.
Cheers.
And Stephen, just before we get rid of you, make sure you print out the result and frame it, because the way the order that the car's finished, it now looks like you lapped the entire field. So
Maybe I'll do that.
yeah, or just take screenshots of it and just drop it in the Discord channel every now and again, just to remind them who's boss.
I'll think about it. I don't like doing that kind of thing, but yeah.
They would do it to you, mate, believe me. Stephen Walker, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the TCR drivers are out in force for the interviews. We've got one more GT4 driver, and if he waffles on too much, we'll just flush him mid-sentence. Tyler Newitt, welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to get your injury excuses out of the way before we start?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really a limiting injury. It's just gonna hurt tomorrow, and I probably shouldn't be racing for a few weeks. But I can't quit this series, so I'm gonna just do this and maybe the V8s, and try not to make it worse. But no, it was not a limiting factor today. It was just my excuse mostly comes down to the balance of performance, which is not to say it's overall bad, but we're kind of back close, somewhere between where we were 2 seasons ago and where we were last season, where if you get a track that's really toe dependent, the BMWs are just going to be quick. And that's not to say that Wobbly and Simon aren't blazingly fast in their own right, but our chances to fight are a little bit diminished at tracks like Watkins Glen, I think, this season, which is, it is what it is, and there will be tracks, I think we go to Lime Rock in a couple weeks, and I expect we'll have a pretty good chance around there. So
yeah, well, we try not to talk about Wobbly too much because we don't like him, but absolutely fantastic battle up there with especially yourself and Chris, but Rob was always in on it, and Simon, after getting dropped a little bit, then got back into it. And I found your comment on Discord very interesting, that Simon out-Tylered Tyler with the pit stop strategy.
Yeah, it was pretty much, he was, I'm sure, well, for one, it seems like the BMWs are just marginally better on fuel economy this season. And he was doing it from the beginning. I mean, he didn't qualify probably where he should have been. His pace in the race was fantastic, and I think he just got kind of onto the back of that train and was saving the whole way. And what I was doing was, initially I was trying to get by Chris, because I thought if I could just get back in Wobbly's toe, I could not catch him up. I don't really think I had anything for him, at all. But really, I was just trying to get away from that, Simon and Rob and Chris, and ultimately wasn't able to get by Chris. So then I committed to the fuel save, but we were already probably 5 laps in at that point, and I was able to save enough to get ahead of Chris. But what I really would have needed was enough to get clear of the toe for Chris. Another Discord comment I made was that the McLaren is just super quick as the fuel burns off, because it uses so much of it, but it means it gets super light at the end of the run. And I knew Chris was going to be coming back strong, and I gave it pretty much everything I had, but ultimately it wasn't enough for Chris, wasn't enough for Simon once he pulled the awesome strategy out. I told Rob at one point towards the end of the race to tell me if he was going to send it, because I was so focused on Chris that I probably would not notice and chop him off or something. But I think he was all right to sit behind it and hope that I was the one doing the sending and making a mistake. But it, it was fun, but it wasn't to be.
He certainly played the good teammate tonight, and like I say, that battle there with yourself and Chris was absolutely fantastic. We thoroughly enjoyed it. So still got some more to get through. So before we let you go, mate, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, thanks as always to you guys for doing the broadcasts and for putting together BSTV Esports. I think it's pretty clear from how often we're all qualifying up front that you've actually managed to put together a pretty good team, which is a surprise. But
yeah, we just need to get rid of Pete. That's all.
There's a pretty healthy rivalry going right now between Team Pink and Team Orange, and we're on the back foot at the moment. But I think we're gonna come back strong once we get to some tracks that suit the Porsche. I know Rob's still got the pace, and I've still got the pace. We just need a little bit of luck on our side, I guess.
Yeah, very true. Well, welcome back, and congratulations on your 4th place, Tyler Newitt.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Yaz, next up for you, let's bring in our 2nd place finisher and master tactician in the TCR, Gary Craig.
Good evening.
Good evening, Gary. Another good 2nd place podium for you. A well constructed race there. You got it in you perfect timing on the pit stops. Talk us through that.
Yeah, it was good race. I didn't have the pace I wanted in the race, to be honest. I'd had really good pace in practice, and it was just nowhere tonight. I was really fighting to stay on the back of the front 3 for that first half of that race. And yeah, I wasn't saving fuel behind them. I was pushing to try and stay in the draft. So when I came in, I just ran the car dry, basically. But I came in and I put the right amount of fuel in because I gained 2 to 3 seconds on all of them in the pits, and I finished with 0.8 of a lap left. So that's the only reason I got a good finish, is because I just was less time in the pits, not because I was quicker. They were catching me really quickly at the end as well. So yeah, just got the fuel right, to be honest. That's all that saved my day today.
There was something that came up, and we were wondering, and we needed to ask you this. Did you say on your team chat that you were putting and Pete Bingham took your instructions to put?
No, Pete pits when he wants.
Really?
No, he doesn't.
He does. I know
he doesn't.
He sometimes asks about fuel, but I know there's a few occasions in the past we've pitted together, but we pit at different times about as often as we pit together, to be honest. It's I think you notice it when we pit together and you mention it, and then you notice it when we don't and you mention it. It's like, oh, they're not doing that. But no, Pete runs his own race. He'll check with me with fuel, but we tend to use different amounts of fuel, to be honest. I use a bit more fuel per lap often, so it's not always equivalent. So yeah, he just runs his own race.
It's a good teammate answering the question politely, even though we know he's not telling the truth. It's fine, Clyde.
We know what really happened.
Yeah. No, I stitched him up tonight and told him to pit early. That screwed him.
Tell me, Gary, so, I mean, it's looking good for you so far with 3 races down. We're going next week into week 4 into a new 3-track Chicago. You excited about that one? Do you own the track? Have you done a few laps around there?
I've bought it, but I've not done any laps around it. I've seen some laps, and it looks like it could be a blast. I've no idea what it's going to be like in these cars, but if it's anything like any of the other American street tracks like Long Beach, Belle Isle, and the likes, then I think it'll be great fun. And it looks like it's laid out in a way to encourage the kind of racing that we get on Long Beach. And I've tended to go quite well at Long Beach, so I'll fingers crossed that I'll have some pace there.
Oh, that's good. We're looking forward to it. We like the look of those walls around there, so I'm sure we're in for something exciting. Tell me, this week, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I've been informed that the fan club still watches. They just stay quiet in chat. So, so thanks to the fan club for watching as ever, and of course to the guys who race, and to everyone else that watches, and to you guys for doing the league and the broadcast, and to the sponsors.
Oh, great stuff, man. We look forward to seeing you next week, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, man.
Okay, Gary Craig there. So now let's bring in 4th place, Mark Draper. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, not bad. Burning question on my lips. How did you? We see you. You was the first person to pit out of the TCR field. And you seem to lose a lot of ground on those guys in front of you. Did we miss something? Did you get stuck in traffic? Did you make a mistake? Tell us what happened.
I was overdriving. I just kept missing apexes, and I was sat behind Sam at the start of the race, and I was just fuel saving. I was thinking, this is cushy, I can sit here all day. And then Stephen started to gap him a little bit, and he started making mistakes. So I thought, right, when the opportunity arises, I managed to get past him. But then obviously that I was fighting, giving Stephen a little bit more gap, and I thought I could catch Stephen because like obviously through seeing his times through practice and stuff, I thought we were a very similar pace, and he was still just in tow range, but I just, like I said, I tried to push too hard and overdrove the car, which then makes you slower. And then I pitted early because I didn't want to give Sam and Gary tow, save fuel and stuff. And then during I said, during the middle of the race, I just overdrove and I hit the wall coming out the last turn. I don't know if that damaged my car much or not. Just took the wing mirror off, but yeah.
So it explains it a little bit. But still a top 4 in a horrendously competitive field. We were saying at the start, we normally sort of tip who we think is going to win, but if you look at both classes, the win can come from absolutely anywhere, can't it?
Yeah, it's so tight. It's like half a tenth and stuff like that. It's per lap. It's crazy. I'm just struggling with consistency. Not only that, the lads have actually been a lot smarter this season, where last season I would qualify on pole, I'd put a good couple of laps in, and then they'd start battling, then I'd just drive off. Where this season, the people are starting to, obviously with the extra fuel and stuff, fuel saving, and a lot of the tracks actually quite, especially the last 3 we've raced, have got a lot of tow on, so you can't really break the tow. So even if you are faster, it doesn't matter because the tow is just going to put you back straight on the bumper. So
yeah, I know what you're saying. Although I would say your consistency is better this season because last season it was win it or bin it.
Yeah.
Yes. But you're turning those bad results into just outside the podium positions. So you're still getting a good haul of points out of it.
Oh yeah, like you said, it only takes one bad race, and I'm back in for a fight with the first top 2, top 3 in the league. So.
Most definitely. And Chicago Street Circuit next week. Had any laps around there yet?
I didn't even know it existed until
excellent.
So that might be find a wall and put it in it.
No, well, I'm sure you won't be the only one.
But I'll try and be quick.
Excellent. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go, Mark?
Just you boys for putting and girls for putting the stream on for people to watch, us to watch back, and the Result Boys as always for being awesome.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure watching your battles and your frustrations tonight, and congratulations on your 4th place, and we'll see you next week. Mark Draper.
Nice one. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so we got one more to do, Yaz, and it's over to you. It's 5th place, Lee Bowden.
Good evening, Lee. Good 5th place finish there for you. How did that race go for you?
Well, the evening was hard work, but it was more like damage limitation in the end, so I suppose it could have been worse.
You enjoyed it though, the hour? Did the hour feel a bit long?
It was a long race, really. Qualifying, I think it was first or second lap. I was about 7/10 up because I got like a mega tow from one of the GT4s and then TCRs on the second half of the lap, and then got taken out from behind going into one of the last corners. So then I had to sort of restart all my qualifying again cold tyres and was just ambling around on my own. So I was kind of stuck in the mid pack after qualifying. So yeah, kind of made the race a bit difficult. Managed to work my way through past a couple of cars at the start, but the problem was then the likes of say Gary and that got too far ahead for me to sort of reach their toe. So from sort of that point on, the race was over really.
Yeah, so I mean, you've had a couple of good finishes so far. I mean, you had 2 podium finishes, and this is your first finish outside of the podium. But so obviously we know that you've got the pace to put it up front there. Considering your finish this week, you see that this is really going to be a challenging season. A lot of contenders, a good battle up front for wins this season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the season sort of goes, really. I mean, today I don't think I ever probably had the pace of the likes of, I don't know, Steve, Sam, possibly Gary, but I think I would have been close. To be honest, I probably would have finished in the same position, but I think I would have been a lot closer if I could have just sort of kept in the toe. But sort of having looked at the sort of the race briefly on the stream afterwards, it looked like it was very close between all of them.
Well, it's only 3 races into the season. Next week we go to a new track, Chicago Street Circuit. How are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, I've only done about 3 laps on it. Seems a little bit simple, but yeah, just be interesting to see how it goes, really.
Was you talking about the track there, or Pete?
I wouldn't dare say a thing.
Yeah, so I mean, look, we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out. I think that there's a big challenge on all of the TCR's hands, trying to get wins and podiums, and that obviously bodes well for the season ahead. Is there any shout outs that you want to do that you want to give this week?
Yeah, the usual people, yourselves for putting on the show, all the drivers, just for making it as entertaining as it is, and yeah, any friends, family that are watching.
Yeah. Well done again on another finish, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, catch you later.
Cheers, Ben.
Okay, so Lee Bowden there. So we finished with the interviews. It's now time to put the commentary team on the spot with our driver of the evening. And Stacey had to leave us early because she's got, I don't know, some sort of private dance going on tonight or something. So she has given her driver of the evening vote to Mark Draper. So let's put Mr. Sam Boozin on the spot. Who is your driver of the evening for this week?
All of them, maybe except Marco and Pete today. I don't know. I've been thinking about this all the way through the interviews, and I still don't know. So I will go with Stephen Walker for the win in the TCRs.
Okay, there's a vote for Mr. Walker. And yes, same for you, mate. You're driver of the evening.
Yeah. Well, like you, I don't want to pick any winners this season for driver of the day. I'm gonna have to give it to Chris Shaw for the battle and coming out on top in that battle that we watched towards the end. So mine goes to Chris Shaw this week.
Okay, vote for Chris Shaw there. And as Yaz has said, I try not to go for the winners because they've had enough glory by winning the race without getting driver of the evening as well. So I'm going to give mine to what I think was a masterful tactical race, gaining positions up to second place. And there's 2 drivers now that are really, really excited, and it's going to be Simon Trendle.
Good pick, that one.
So that's it for our driver of the evening. Just a quick count up. Rob Venn with 2, Pete Bingham with 2. I don't know how that happened. That's Stacey. Lee Bowden with 2. And then we have Chris Shaw, Mark Draper, Stephen Walker, and Simon Trendle on 1 vote. So what have we got coming up for you the rest of the week? I haven't got a clue because I'm looking at June instead of July. So on Saturday, we are back with the Next Level Endurance series. For some reason, I have on my calendar it's a 6-hour race from Twin Ring Motegi. That may have been changed. Sam will be able to tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong, Sam?
That's what state in the rules, and that's what we have in the book. So I hope it's correct. So.
Okay, and on Sunday we are back with the door banging action, which is ITCR. Rounds 1, 2, and 3 a fortnight ago were absolutely fantastic, and we've got rounds 4, 5, and 6 coming up from the Alton Park Foster's layout. 3 20-minute fast and furious races. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'd like to thank Sam, Yaz, and Stacey for joining me in the booth tonight. As usual, thanks to all of the drivers for making it such an entertaining series. Thanks to everybody that pops up on the chat with their comments. Thanks to the sponsors of the series, which is us. Weird one, that one. Yeah, like I said, as usual, make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. And make sure you follow us on Facebook to make sure you never miss any of the action. I shall say good night. Let Yaz and Sam say good night, and then we'll close the broadcast. So, good night, everybody. Stay safe, and just remember, it's coming home.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.
And good night, everybody, and see you Saturday for a very long race.